Over 500 Russian targets destroyed. Weekly summary of combat operations. Drone attack reported overnight in Russia's Tver region, and how over 100 Russian drones launched against Ukraine. The latest news next. On the night of January 27th, explosions rocked the Tver region of Russia. Drones allegedly tried to attack a local oil depot, according to the shot Telegram channel. Eyewitnesses claimed to have heard the distinctive sound of UAVs, after which air defense was triggered. According to Governor Igor Rudenya, the attack caused no casualties or damage. The Russians claim an alleged attempt to attack a local oil depot, but Ukrainian officials or the military command have not yet commented on the situation. Meanwhile, the Russian Defense Ministry claims to have shot down 32 drones overnight. About strikes on targets in Russia. Since the beginning of the full-scale war, explosions and fires in Russia have become more frequent. The Security Service of Ukraine, the Defense Intelligence and the Defense Forces regularly attack strategically important facilities of the country, including ammunition depots, oil refineries and military bases, to weaken the Russian army's combat capabilities. For example, on January 24th, it was reported that the Kremlin L microelectronics plant in Bryansk and the Ryazan oil pumping station were hit. The Russians attacked Ukraine with 104 Shahed attack UAVs and decoy drones on the night of 26 to 27 January. 57 of them were destroyed by Ukrainian Air Defense forces. 39 others disappeared from radar, and the attack caused damage in 4 regions, reported by Ukrainian Air Force on Telegram.
As of 9 a.m., 57 Shahed attack UAVs and other types of drones were confirmed to have been shot down in Kyiv, Mykolaiv, Kharkiv, Poltava, Sumy, Dnipropetrovsk, Khmelnytsky, Zhytomyr, Vinnytsia, and Ivano-Frankivsk oblasts. 39 enemy decoy drones disappeared from radar, causing no adverse effects.
About details, the Air Force added that the Russian attack resulted in damage in Dnipropetrovsk, Sumy, Ivano-Frankivsk and Kiev regions. Infrastructure facilities, apartment blocks and residential buildings were damaged. The Russians launched drones from the Russian cities of Oryol, Kursk, Millerovo and Primorsko-Akhtarsk, as well as from Cape Chauda in temporarily occupied Crimea. The air attack was repelled by aircraft, anti-aircraft missile troops, electronic warfare units and mobile fire groups of the Ukrainian Air Force and Defense Forces. The Russian military attacked Dnipropetrovsk region on the night of 26 to 27 January, damaging infrastructure facilities, multi-story buildings, residential buildings, and property belonging to an industrial business, reported by Serhiy Lysak, head of Region Military Administration, on Telegram. About details, Lysak said that East Air Command units destroyed 13 drones in the Dnipropetrovsk region in the evening and at night.
However, the enemy attack did not pass without consequences. Infrastructure facilities were damaged in the Samar district. There was a fire. 3 houses and an outbuilding were also damaged. 3 high-rise buildings in Dnipro were damaged. One of them caught fire and was extinguished by firefighters.
About details, the Russians fired on the Nikopol district with Grad, multiple launch rocket systems and heavy artillery. Lysak said that the Russians hit Nikopol and the Marganes Gromada, causing destruction at premises belonging to an industrial business. At the same time, he stressed that there were no casualties in the attack. Several explosions occurred in the Ivano-Frankivsk region on the night of 26 to 27 January, with Russians targeting critical infrastructure. Ivano-Frankivsk region military administration has reported that the fire broke out as a result of the attack, reported by Svetlana Onyshuk, head of Ivano-Frankivsk region military administration, on Telegram.
A series of explosions were heard in Prikapatia. The enemy attacked the oblast multiple times last night, using strike drones. Critical infrastructure facilities were targeted. A fire was reported. Emergency services are working at the scene.
Onyshuk added that no reports of casualties had been received as of 8 a.m. About background, earlier several media outlets reported that explosions had occurred during the Russian drone attack in Ivano-Frankivsk region. Ivano-Frankivsk Mayor Ruslan Martinkiev mentioned that air defense systems were responding in the city. The Ukrainian Air Force summarized the results of the past week. In total, more than 500 enemy targets were destroyed, according to the Ukrainian Air Force. The military reported that from January 20th to January 26th, air defense forces shot down over 500 enemy aerial threats, including 2 guided aviation missiles, 375 Shahed-type attack drones, 71 reconnaissance drones, 59 drones of other types. Over the week, tactical aviation of the Air Force conducted more than 30 sorties for aerial reconnaissance, fighter cover, fire missions, and air support for ground units. Air Force pilots carried out dozens of airstrikes on enemy positions using bombs and missiles of various types, targeting command points, concentrations of equipment and personnel. During the week, the soldiers of the Joint Rifle Brigade of the Air Force conducted 64 FPV drone strikes, 144 successful UAV drops, 11 rifle engagements, 1,100 UAV reconnaissance flights. Enemy personnel, equipment, ammunition depot, and dozens of aerial targets were destroyed, the military added. It should be recalled that as of the morning of January 26, the Russian army lost more than 1,700 soldiers in a single day. Since the beginning of the full-scale invasion of Ukraine, the enemy has lost 830,190 military personnel. Russian forces are preparing to capture the city of Toretsk in the coming days. The redeployment of elements from the Eastern Military District to reinforce Russian troops on the Toretsk front may indicate Russia's new priority efforts to resume attacks towards Konstantinivka, reported by ISW.
ISW previously assessed that Russian forces likely intend to exploit the seizure of Toretsk to push further west and along the T-0516 Toretsk-Kostiantynivka highway towards the southernmost point of Ukraine's fortress belt in Kostiantynivka.
About details, Russian progress on the Toretsk front has been slow due to intense fighting in densely populated urban zones. However, their pace could increase significantly if they manage to push beyond Toretsk and enter the open fields to the west of the settlement.
Russian forces may also attempt to leverage tactical gains within and near Toretsk and east of Pokrovsk to eliminate the Ukrainian salient southwest of Toretsk, and select Russian mill bloggers have recently speculated that Russian forces may be intensifying offensive operations southwest of Toretsk for this purpose.
About details, ISW suggested that Russian forces may focus on removing the Ukrainian salient southwest of Toretsk to strengthen their southern flank ahead of a potential advance on Konstantinivka. The Russian command could move units from the Eastern Military District to support offensives on the Toretsk front, particularly if they aim to target Ukrainians' defensive positions in the Donetsk region during the spring and summer of 2025. Capturing Pokrovsk has been a key goal for the Russian military in the Donetsk region since February 2024.
A Russian redeployment of EMD elements to the Toretsk or Chasiv Yar directions, as opposed to retaining the EMD elements in western Donetsk Oblast, redeploying them to the Zaporizhia direction or redeploying them to the Pokrovsk direction, would therefore indicate an inflection in Russian operational priorities.
That's all for today. Thanks for watching this video. Like and subscribe.